And welcome, basketball fans, to another edition of Henley Girls Basketball on MyBasin.com. We're coming to you live tonight from Merlin, Oregon, just north of Grants Pass, on the campus of North Valley High School for tonight's girls basketball matchup between the Henley Hornets and the North Valley Knights. Good evening, everyone. My name is Josh Eldridge. I'm joined by Nick Bradford tonight, running the live stream on MyBasin.com. Appreciate you all joining us for this Skyline Conference contest between the Knights and the Hornets. Hornets enter play tonight with a 1-0 conference record. That one win coming last week in very dramatic fashion against a very good Hidden Valley team. The defending state champions fell to the Hornets, who played very good defense down the stretch. Expect to see more of that from the Hornets tonight. Meantime, for North Valley, they opened up their season with a loss last week. Came at home against Klamath Union. The Lady Pels handed the Knights 51-33 in a loss last week, so I'm sure the Knights hoping to turn things around tonight. Coached, of course, by Michaela Witcherly in her second season. North Valley Knights hosting the Hornets for this one. We'll be right back, and when we come back, we're taking a look at the Skyline Conference standings, and we'll talk a little bit about the Hornets' win last week against the Hidden Valley Mustangs in dramatic fashion. That's all coming up next, and of course, starting lineups and tip-off next on MyBasin.com.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires, reminding you that changing seasons can mean changing road conditions. Introducing the brand new Backcountry AT2 for a quieter ride with improved performance in wet conditions. Because when it comes to keeping your family safe, the right tires help you feel prepared for anything. Seriously, anything. Now save up to $130 when you buy Quadtrac tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
At Bowers Construction, our mission statement is to enrich the lives of our customers and of our team. So we're trying to be the best construction company that we can be by bringing value to other people's lives. So the work we provide is basically from foundation to roof in residential, and we work in commercial construction. Find our Bowers Construction Facebook page, or just give us a call. It's 541-205-1464. We are a licensed contractor at CCB 188923.
Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager of Clown Falls Honda and Clown Falls Subaru. I've lived here my whole life. Most of our employees have lived here their whole life too. Our sales, service, parts, and body shop teams are all staffed with experienced local folks. You know them and they know you. Our dealerships are comfortable and not corporate. Comfortable means we're focused on you. I'm Rob, and I'm glad to know you.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
And we welcome you back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on MyBasin.com. Of course, getting ready for tonight's matchup between the Henley Lady Hornets and the North Valley Knights. Henley coming into tonight's contest with an 8-5 overall record, 1-0 in conference play. This is only the second conference game of 2022. Time now to take a look at the Skyline Conference standings, and they look good for Basin teams. Henley 1-0, 8-5 record. Mazama also 1-0, they're 8-6, and then Klamath Union with the other league win, and they have a 7-6 overall record. You've got North Valley, Phoenix, and Hidden Valley towards the bottom half of the Skyline Conference. So, if you're a fan of Basin basketball, this conference looks pretty nice with these three Basin teams at the top of the conference. Hoping that it stays that way, but still a lot of basketball left to be played. And it begins tonight against the North Valley Knights, who again took a loss last week to Klamath Union, 51-33. Before that, they've been about a 500 basketball team, 8-6 overall on the season. They've got a couple decent wins against teams like Cascade Christian. They've beat the Challengers twice. And then you've also got a decent win against St. Mary's as well earlier on in the season. But then you look at it again, North Valley's lost to Eagle Point. They've lost to also Phoenix in an on-league contest earlier on in the season. So tough to kind of gauge where North Valley is at this point in the season. Definitely looking forward to seeing what kind of product they put forth tonight. North Valley has struggled the past couple of years in league play with a 2-19 league record dating back to 2019-2020, and hoping for a great game tonight, because last week we were definitely treated to a good one. Going to take a break, and when we come back, it's time for starting lineups and tip-off on mybasin.com. On Top Tree Services have one of the highest buckets in town. No job too small, no tree too tall. Operating since 2017, this crew's ready for your land clearing, tree removal, tree trimming, stump grinding, and fire prevention. On Top Tree Services offers same-day estimates. I can't mention this enough. If a tree falls on your house or vehicle, they offer a 24/7 emergency tree or limb removal. Give them a call today at 541-882-8707. On Top Tree Services, fast, easy, and reliable. CCB 216014.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires, reminding you that changing seasons can mean changing road conditions. Introducing the brand new Backcountry AT2 for a quieter ride with improved performance in wet conditions. Because when it comes to keeping your family safe, the right tires help you feel prepared for anything. Seriously, anything. Now save up to $130 when you buy Quadtrac tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
And to welcome you back to Skyline Conference basketball coverage on mybasin.com. Tonight, the Henley Hornets taking on the North Valley Knights. Good evening, everyone. My name is Josh Eldridge, joined by Nick Bradford tonight. Coming to you live from North Valley High School, the Henley Hornets on the road tonight, and it's time to meet the starting five. Starting number 10, a senior, Ryan Maddox. Also number 11, a junior, Holly Parker. Number 15, a sophomore, Annie Campos. Number 20, a senior, Madeline Sharp. And number 24, another sophomore, Jewel Northcutt. The Henley Hornets coached by Randy Denson in his second year, assisted by Kevin Petrick. And now time to meet the starting five from the hometown North Valley Knights. Number 2, a senior, Sydney Moore. Number 11, a sophomore, Lainey Wheeler. Number 12, a sophomore, Ashlyn Godfrey. Number 22, a senior, Carly Toohey. And finally, number 23, a sophomore, Jordan Faggart. The North Valley Knights are coached by Michaela Witcherly in her second season. Tonight, just a girls basketball game. There are no boys playing tonight at North Valley High School, not even the junior varsities, as the North Valley boys had to cancel due to COVID. Also, Mazama not playing tonight, as the Hidden Valley boys canceling on them kind of last second. Mazama, the boys, as a matter of fact, playing Phoenix tomorrow, which kind of puts Phoenix in an odd situation since they're playing KU tonight. So they're in sort of a doubleheader situation. Not doubleheader necessarily in the same day, but a back-to-back, I guess, would be the more apt term for those boys. But, of course, tonight, focused on this girls basketball game between the Henley Hornets and the North Valley Knights. To tip, it's going to be Jewel Northcutt and Carly Toohey. Henley tonight in the navy blue uniforms with the yellow stripe down the leg and the yellow numbering and lettering across the front and back. North Valley this evening with the white uniforms and the maroon leg with yellow numbering, and North Valley across the front. The Knights win the initial tip. It was taken by Sydney Moore, who promptly turns it over to Madeline Sharp, and another turnover. This time North Valley with it. It's going to be Godfrey with it, giving it over to Tui, who comes around the near side. Tui trying to get it inside to Moore, puts it on the deck, tries to back down Campos, can't quite put the bucket in, and Henley takes the ball up. You've got Annie Campos getting it up the floor, kicks it ahead to Ryan Maddox. She shoots, couldn't quite get the board. Racing up the floor for North Valley is Carly Tui for the bucket. First 2 points of the game scored by North Valley and Carly Tui. Tui comes from a long lineage of Tuis here at North Valley High School. Of course, both of her older sisters playing for the Knights as well. Both graduated now, as that shot from Northcutt clangs off the front of the rim, and it's no good. Still 2-0 to score. It's North Valley advances the ball into the front court. Lainey Wheeler kicking it over to Godfrey. Godfrey trying to go left with it. Ends up in the hands of Faggart. Back outside to Godfrey, who puts up a shot. Clings off the backboard. Moore tried to go for the rebound, but it's snagged by Maddox. Ryan Maddox bringing the ball up the floor, kicking it ahead to Campos. She tries to dish it back outside to Northcutt. Now Maddox, top of the key. Henley will do this from time to time. They like to look for perimeter shots, but dish the ball inside of the girl sitting down low like Campos, who actually takes the three-point shot and swishes it. Annie Campos strikes first for the Hornets. Last week, she had just 6 points in the winning effort against Hidden Valley, but it was a lot more than that Campos did. It was the defense down low against the tall Hidden Valley girls. In the fourth quarter last week, Henley taking on the Mustangs. Only 1 point allowed in the entire fourth quarter that allowed them to win that game by 6 points. I'm sure Coach Jensen would like a similar defensive performance tonight as Carly Tui heads to the line. Well, we're here in January, but that doesn't mean that winter is over. Les Schwab Tires knows that winter weather can slow you down, but they've got the best sets of tires and wheels in the Klamath Basin. They'll definitely be sure to help you out. They've got 3 locations in the basin, 2 in Klamath Falls on South 6th Street and in Merrill, and on Washburn Way as well. They have been doing the right thing since 1952 at Les Schwab Tires. Tui goes 1 for 2 at the line, ties the game at 3, just under 6 to go as Maddox catches and shoots a 3 on the other end, can't quite knock it down. Ball goes out of bounds, possession Hornets. So we talked about some of the cancellations going on in the Skyline Conference tonight. Of course, Mazama will not be playing Hidden Valley this evening. The other game that's happening is between Klamath Union and Phoenix, and as we know, that game just started over at Pell Court. As a 3-point bucket made on the other end by Ryan Maddox, her first 3 of the game. She scored 24 in the winning effort against Hidden Valley last week. Apologies there for the scoreboard. There's a 3-pointer to Henley. They lead 6-3 with 5.5 to go in the first, and they have the ball. Campos dishing it ahead to Maddox. Trying to get it inside, it looked like, to Sharp, but that one's going to be stolen away by Tui. No, pardon me, that was Faggart, and now Tui's with it. Kicking over near side to Wheeler. Wheeler outside to Godfrey. Inside on the deck was Godfrey. She spins around to her left, tries to put up a shot, gets knocked down going for her own rebound, and North Valley keeps possession of the ball. The Knights have struggled in Skyline Conference play the last handful of seasons. Again, just a 2-19 conference record dating back to 2019-20. They've been about 500 in non-league play, but once they start playing these Skyline Conference teams, the wins have been tough to find for the Knights. A nice pass inside from Campos allows Sharp to just put it up and in. Nice 2-point bucket, 8-3 the score. 4:45 to go in the first. Tui racing up the floor, bounce pass outside to Sydney Moore for a mid-range jump shot. Kind of throws a knuckleball at the rim. Didn't have much spin on that, but the Hornets come away with the rebound. Now Maddox in transition, has it picked away by Tui. She keeps possession of it before Tui steals it away. Relentless defense for North Valley, and that's the one thing that they'll give you all game. They might not be the best at scoring all the time consistently throughout the game. At least that's what we've seen in the past handful of seasons. But North Valley will play staunch defense all night long as Lainey Wheeler travels her way to the bucket, and it'll be a turnover for the Knights. Substitution in for Henley as Anna Harper and Melody Martino check into the game. Martino, a senior, and Harper, a freshman. Campos bringing the ball up the floor. Gets it over to Martino. Now back over to Parker. Parker over to Campos. Campos thought about a three. She puts it on the deck, drives inside, kicks it outside to Parker for three. 11-3 now. It's 3:50 to go. The scoreboard here says 10-3, so we'll go ahead and change that too. 3:46 to go in the first. Henley leads. Pass goes over to Tui. Tui trying to drive inside, goes up against Campos, tosses up a nice shot, so another bucket there for Tui. As a matter of fact, she's got all North Valley points to this point, a couple of field goals and a free throw. As that was a shot taken by Parker, can't quite knock that one down. But she did get fouled, I believe. Northcutt picks up the foul, so my apologies there. That's her first of the game. Second team foul for the Hornets. And the Knights will start with possession. Getting it inside to Tui. Races up the floor on the far side. Stops and pops. In fact, dishes it inside to, I believe that was Godfrey, number 12, the sophomore down there for North Valley. Ball goes out of bounds, but the Knights still take it. Inbound pass for Faggart. She kicks it over to Hawkins, who's checked into the game for North Valley. Hawkins, a senior. Tui, the mid-range jump shot and a friendly roll off the rim. She has two more. 7 points for the Knights, 7 points for Carly Tui. Parker on the other side thought about a mid-range jump shot, kicks it outside to Campos for three, and Campos getting hot from long range. That's her second three of the ball game on as many shots. Bringing it up the floor is Wheeler. Wheeler takes the screen down low, throws up a shot with the right hand, and got that one to fall. The sophomore adding a couple points. North Valley's effort tonight, she's got two. Campos tries to drive the lane on the other side, gets fouled on the floor, so the shot will not count. And Henley will just inbound the ball. Substitution in for North Valley as Moore has checked into the game for Godfrey. Henley gets it inside to Campos. Campos puts it on the deck, tries to pass it back inside to Harper, but it's knocked away. Pass it to the front court to Tui. She lets it dribble off her legs, goes out of bounds, and possession goes to the Hornets. Score of 13-9 with 2:20 to go in the first. As Campos brings it up the floor. She dribbles right into a three, tries to bank it in, can't quite do it. Rebound North Valley. Pass to Tui. She is the primary ball handler for North Valley as she steps into a mid-range shot. High bounce off the backboard, and it'll in fact go out of bounds off the top of the backboard. And checking in for the Knights is Rayanne Schrock, a junior. 2 minutes left to go in the opening period. Henley leads 13-9. Campos bounces it over to Maddox for three. Can't quite find that one. Saves it from going out of bounds. Does Northcutt, trying to get it over to Harper, but can't quite do it. North Valley takes possession. It's Faggart bringing it up, dishes it to Moore. Moore steps into it at the free throw line, decides better of it, tries to get it over to Schrock. Schrock guarded by Maddox mid-range. Bounce pass goes outside to Hawkins. And Martino with the takeaway against Tui and gets fouled in transition. So Carly Tui will pick up the foul. Only the Knights' second team foul. And the Hornets will inbound, get it to Campos. Campos over to Maddox, trying to get it inside to Martino. She puts it on the deck. Outside to Campos, has the shot blocked by Moore down low. The rebound is snagged by North Valley. Tui trying to race for it, has the ball knocked away by Martino as she picked the pocket of Carly Tui. Martino dribbling in transition, loses the handle, and Tui does it right back to her. This time Tui spins around Martino, stops and pops from about 12 feet out. No good. Martino with the board. Campos now racing up the floor in her own right, trying to get to the bucket. 8-foot shot, no good, but she is fouled. She'll go to the line. The Oregon Schools Activities Association is open registration now for a spring umpire. So if you want to be an athletics official, now is the time to do it. The state of Oregon is in desperate need of high school athletics officials. So if you visit osaa.org/officials, you'll be able to find some information, whether it's baseball, softball you want to get involved in, whatever it is. Registration is now open on osaa.org. It's a great way to stay involved with your community, stay involved with the sports that you love, and give back to your community as well. And also, if you get involved in a sport like basketball, football, even baseball to a certain respect, it's a great way to stay in shape. If that's part of your New Year's resolution, become an athletics official. Campos goes 2 for 2 at the line. And it's now Wheeler with it on the other end for North Valley. Tries to get it inside to Moore, but it's slapped away by Madeline Sharp, and she takes it up the floor. Now 38 seconds to go in the first quarter. Sharp kicks it over to Maddox, trying to get it inside to Harper. Ball stolen away by North Valley, 29 seconds. Knights trying to work in transition as it's Moore handing it over to Wheeler. Wheeler coming near side, taking a couple screens, about 20 feet out, trying to get it inside to Moore. Moore about 12 feet out, kicks it over to Hawkins. Hawkins at the free throw line. Now dishing it outside. North Valley now 7 seconds. Trying to go up with the shot was Hawkins. In fact, she tries to bounce it inside to Tui. Ball taken away. In transition now is Balbin for Henley, but she can't quite get up the shot. So we go to the second quarter with a score of 15-9. The Henley Lady Hornets in the lead of the North Valley Knights on the road. You've got the MyBasin.com game of the on MyBasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
And we welcome you back to the MyBasin.com game of the week. The Henley Hornets leading the North Valley Knights after one quarter, 15-9. For Henley so far, Annie Campos has 6 points. Ryan Maddox and Holly Parker have each added 3. As a matter of fact, Campos has 8 points. Missed a couple of free throws there, and then Maddox and Parker each have 3. For the North Valley Knights, 2 points credited to Lainey Wheeler and 7 for Carly Tui. She has done a lot of the heavy lifting for North Valley, and let's see if she comes back out. She was benched towards the end of that first quarter. 5 on the floor for those North Valley Knights. It is going to be Carly Tui, Sydney Moore, Rayanne Schrock. Let's see. Well, we'll get the starters after this. As into the front court goes Wheeler. Banks it off the glass. North Valley with the bucket is Wheeler. 4 points tonight. Campos dribbling it up into the front court. The starting 5 for the Hornets. It's Campos, Maddox, Sharp, Parker, and Northcutt. North Valley inbounding it in front of their own bench. Inbound pass goes to Parker. Parker outside to Campos, over to Maddox. Maddox bouncing it inside to Sharp. She tries to go up with the shot, misses, gets her own rebound, and a scuffle for the ball underneath. Ends up in a held ball possession. Looks like it's going to go to the Knights. Score 15-11, 7:26 to go in the second. And not the only basketball we're worried about tonight, as the Oregon Tech Lady Owls are on the road this evening. They are in La Grande, Oregon, taking on the Eastern Oregon Lady Mounties. Right now, Tech up by 1, 34-33 with 7:43 to go in the third quarter. Of course, the Tech men battling tonight as well. So if we'll have a score update, we'll continue to update you on the Lady Owls and the men if we get started in time. Here on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week. But the score in this one, 15-11. Parker bouncing it over to Sharp, gets it outside to Maddox. Maddox over to Campos on that left elbow. Or the right elbow, rather. And she's fouled. Charged the foul to Wheeler. That's her second and also the fourth team foul for the Knights. They've committed the last 4 fouls of the game. Martino checks in for Henley as Sharp takes a seat. Also in for North Valley is going to be Jordan Faggart. She checks in for, I believe it was Wheeler. Campos mid-range jump shot off the inbound. That's no good, but Parker's right there for the putback, and she gets the bucket. Score of 17-11 with 6:45 to go in the second. Tui reins in the inbound pass, bounces it to Moore, who puts up a nice shot, and the North Valley Knights working the two-person game there between Moore and Tui for the bucket. Henley on the other side gets Maddox a decent look at 3, but can't quite knock it down. Ball will go out of bounds, and possession Knights. Pass goes over to Tui as she brings it up the floor. Tui tries to step to the rim and trying to understand who the foul was against here. I believe they're charging that one to Parker, and that will be her second and the team's third. Martino tries to knock that one away from Godfrey. Ends up as a held ball just beyond the three-point arc. Possession Hornets. They're going to inbound it right in front of the crowd here in North Valley High School. Definitely a smaller crowd than we've seen so far in the games that we've traveled to or seen at the Hornets' Nest, as Campos tries to put on the deck, goes up with the shot, gets the bucket and the foul. Annie Campos going strong to the hoop. And she'll get a chance to make it a three-point play. But North Valley High School tonight, they're counting their attendance. They are allowing only 2 tickets per visiting player. So COVID restrictions, definitely a real fact of life over here in the Rogue Valley that maybe isn't so much in the Klamath Basin. And of course, we hope that it stays that way, allowing people to come out and enjoy the games. But here in Grants Pass and over in Phoenix, and Talent, and Medford, they are having to be careful with their attendance as Campos knocked down that extra free throw. Pass goes inside to Godfrey, is stolen away by Parker. Parker and Martino in transition, 2-on-1, and a charge by Parker. I don't think that was so much of a charge, as Parker looked like she may have pushed off of Tui to create room, and that warrants the call from the official. As Parker checks out, Sharp is in along with Anna Harper, the freshman, checking back into the game. She's going to be tasked with guarding Sydney Moore. Well, scratch that. It'll be Lainey Wheeler. Well, we'll say one more time. We don't know who she's guarding. It's going to be Wheeler. Wheeler takes the inbound and is promptly picked up by Harper at about half court. Just to get over to Faggart. Now back over to Wheeler. Wheeler outside to Hawkins. Hawkins back to Wheeler. Wheeler steps right, dribbles left, shoots off the backboard, no good. Campos with the rebound. Campos bringing it up the floor at the right elbow. Tries to kick it over to Martino in the far corner. Ball goes out of bounds. Possession Knights. Something of note, we're 5:23 into the second quarter. Neither coach, Randy Denson nor Michaela Witcherly, have called for a timeout so far. Both coaches in their second year, picking up the job in the kind of COVID-shortened season we had last year, where we only played 10 conference games in 6 weeks. Very interesting things that we decided to do in the times of the pandemic, trying to get sports started back up in the state of Oregon. Only 10 games last year, all conference games, and then we had the kind of showcase that was put on at the end of the year, organized by the athletic directors around the state. The Oregon Schools Activities Association weren't even really trying to host state championships last year, and it came from guys like Greg Mulkey over at Marshfield High School, and even North Valley's athletic director, Tim Sam, who's the representative of the Skyline Conference. Inbound pass for the Knights is going to go to Godfrey. Godfrey handed off to Tui. She puts it on the deck, up with the shot, and a pair of points for Carly Tui. She's got 9 tonight. Maddox pass in the front court, goes back over to Campos. She steps into a 3, back iron, no good. Rebound, grabbed by Henley, and that'll be Harper. She goes back up with the shot, no bucket, but she does get fouled. She is going to the line for 2. Freshman had a couple of points in the winning effort last week against Hidden Valley. We'll see if she can convert at the line. The first free throw, high arcing shot, no good. So I mentioned that we had those 10 games last season. It was kind of an odd, it felt like we were shot out of a cannon all the time almost, with 3 games in a week, in some cases 4. I remember Klamath Union at the time playing 2 back-to-backs in the very same week, and then at a different point in the season playing 3 days in a row. It was a very interesting time. In North Valley, the Knights taking a timeout. We'll take one too with 4:45 to go in the second, 21-15. The Henley Hornets lead on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
And welcome you back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week. Henley Hornets lead the North Valley Knights on the road tonight, 21-15. A little bit later on in the broadcast, about the time of the third quarter, got a special guest joining us up at the broadcast station. Not necessarily a booth, we're in the bleachers, but the broadcast station up here at North Valley High School. We're having Coach Alex Stork join us. Of course, you may know him as the Henley head football coach, but he's also the junior varsity girls head coach. So curious to see what he has to say about what he's seen here tonight. He's on the bench right now as an assistant as well for Coach Randy Denson. So very excited to talk with him probably around the third quarter of tonight's affairs. North Valley with the inbound pass, getting it ahead to Tui. She's going to have a nice little pass over to Faggart. Faggart tries to dish it out to Schrock, but a foul is called down low against the Hornets, number 10. That's Maddox. Maddox so far tonight, only 3 points on 1 3-point attempt made back in the first quarter. She has attempted a couple more threes throughout the game as Sydney Moore. A nice move to the bucket and gets the shot. Now a 4-point game, 21-17. And for Moore, that's her 4th point of the ball game. On the other side, that'll be Anna Harper with the bucket, her first points of the evening. Tui now takes the inbound, races up into the front court. She goes right to the bucket, and Tui is tough to stop. When she gets ahead of steam in front of her, she can go on these runs. I've seen her do it once or twice before. But Annie Campos tries to answer back, no good, and a foul is called. Charge the foul to Annie Campos down low is who they're calling it on. 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, score of 23-19. So they're saying that bucket counted but there was a foul after it, which actually puts North Valley into the bonus at 17 fouls for Henley and 6 for North Valley. So one more foul for them, and they'll be put into the bonus. Shooting 1 and 1 was Wheeler. She misses her first. Campos with the board. Tries to get over to Maddox. Maddox on the left side, outside to Northcutt, getting it over to Martino. Thinks about a mid-range shot instead of drives to the hoop. Can't quite rein it in, and Martino gets her own rebound. Bounces it over to Campos, going to get inside to Harper, puts it on the deck, back outside to Martino for a mid-range shot, no good. And North Valley comes away with the board. In fact, it's ripped away from Moore. Campos now inside, dishing it out to Maddox for 3, and a nice roll around the rim and a bounce off the backboard later. Second 3 of the night for Maddox. That's 6 for her tonight. And a foul called down low against Jewel Northcutt, the sophomore picking one up there. That's the 8th team foul for Henley. So North Valley again shooting 1 and 1. This time it'll be more. Checking into the game is Madeline Sharp and Gracie Poe for the Henley Hornets. Hadn't seen too much of Poe so far this season. She played quite a bit in the preseason. Well, I guess non-conference games would be the correct term. Saw her against Bonanza early in the season. Didn't see her against Hidden Valley last week, but she's back in the lineup as the first free throw from Moore is good, and that will earn her a second. Moore already 5 points tonight, trying to make that second free throw, and 6 points on the evening for the senior guard from North Valley. Pass goes into the front court to Maddox. A little bit of trouble with her balance on the way to hoop, but she gathers and knocks it down. A pair of points for Maddox. 8 for her tonight as Tui gets a pass into the front court, and I believe they're going to say she palmed that one. And, yeah, held on to that one. It'll be a turnover. Tui, by the way, has 11 of the night's 21 points this evening. Maddox takes the handoff, trying to dribble right side, and a foul likely going to be against Schrock for North Valley, and it is. So that sends the Hornets into the bonus now, as Maddox will get a chance to add to her total at the free throw line. Now, folks at Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty know that buying and selling a home is quite stressful, and for sellers, you want to make sure that everything in your house is in tip-top shape and repaired before you go to sell that home. What's one of the things that Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty does is buyer-seller guarantees. For the lifetime that you own a house, you can get a free labor for handyman repairs, whether it's plumbing or you just want something fixed around the house. Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty will take care of you with buyer-seller guarantees. You can check them out online or give them a call at Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty. Only one of those free throws cashed in from Maddox. So the Knights will take possession. Kicking it ahead to Tui, who takes her time. Hasn't even crossed half court yet, and she's got to cross the floor. Tries to take it in herself. Off the backboard, no good. Sharp with the rebound, and Tui kind of rushed herself into that shot as Campos takes it up the floor. Thinks about taking a three-point shot. Maddox does take the three. No good. Moore with the rebound. Wheeler and bringing it up for the Knights. Kicking it near side to Schrock. Mid-range jump shot. Front iron, no good. Moore with the rebound, and she gets fouled trying to put it back up, and she is sent to the line. Moore went 2 for 2 at her last trip at the line. Has got 6 points this evening. She is the second leading scorer for the North Valley Knights as they trail by 8, 29-21 with 2:20 to go in the second quarter. First free throw is good. And just taking a quick look now at Oregon Tech's contest with Eastern Oregon. The women playing right now in the third quarter with 3:30 left. Eastern Oregon leads Oregon Tech 44-40. We'll continue to keep you updated on that game as it kind of unfolds there in the third quarter. And the second free throw from Moore is good. So far on the evening, 8 points for the senior. Her team only trails by 6. Campos dishing it over to Poe, who thought about a 3. Bouncing it over now to Mock. Inside to Campos for a mid-range shot, no good. Tui with the board. And she's racing to the front court. Bounces off the foot of Poe, and Tui tried to gather, but ends up kicking the ball, and she'll get called for that. Possession, Henley. Pass goes inside to Campos. Behind the back dribble. Dishing it over to Mock. Mid-range jump shot. Good for the sophomore. 31-23, a $1:48 to go in the second. Pass goes over to Tui. Tui guarded by Poe, well beyond the arc. Takes the screen, going to her left, tries to get it inside to Moore, who is cut into the basket, but the pass stolen away by Campos. Campos now bringing the ball into the front court. She stops from 10 feet out, throws up a shot, but she gets fouled. No bucket. She will go to the line for 2. Campos tonight, 11 points. Tied for the leading scorer of the ball game with Tui, who also has 11. As Campos steps to the line. 1 for 2 in free throw opportunities tonight. The first one is no good. Substitution in for North Valley is Shaylin Godfrey checks into the game. So you got a pair of sisters for North Valley. Ashlyn Godfrey, number 12, is a sophomore. And then Shaylin Godfrey, number 20, is a freshman. Second free throw from Campos is good. Score now 32-23. North Valley inbounds it, kicking it ahead now to Godfrey. The younger Godfrey is tied up by Campos in the paint. It'll be North Valley ball. Appreciate you being with us tonight on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week. The Henley Hornets on the road tonight with a 1-0 conference record, taking on the North Valley Knights with an 0-1 conference record. As the pass goes into the front court, up with the shot, but it doesn't fall with Harper. She gets her own board. Oh, but travels before the shot. 32-23, the score with 1:12 to go in the second. One of only 2 Skyline Conference games happening this evening as the Mazama and Hidden Valley girls not playing this evening. However, we do have a score update, at least at the end of the first quarter from Pell Court. It's about 10 minutes ago as KU leads Phoenix 7-6 after 1. Campos, great pass inside to Parker. She kicks it outside to Poe for a mid-range shot, and great passing leads to a bucket for Henley. They lead 34-23 with 46 seconds to go in the first half. North Valley trying to pick things up as Lainey Wheeler brings it up the floor. Kicks it over to Moore, about 20 feet out. Now to Wheeler. Beyond the key, 34 seconds and counting in the second quarter. Now it's Tui as she brings it over to the left side at the free throw line. Tries to get it inside to Wheeler, who puts up the shot, and it falls. As Campos walks the ball up the floor on the other end, 34-25 with 15 seconds and counting. Campos guarded by Tui. She kicks it over to Mock. And Mock back to Campos. She dribbles through some North Valley players, throws up a shot, no good. Sydney Moore with the rebound, 2 seconds to go, and Tui slings one, kind of sidearm style. It's no good to beat the buzzer. Go to halftime with a score of 34-25. Going to be back with a halftime break. When we come back, we'll take a look at what Oregon Tech has been up to in the meantime. Also a look at the Skyline Conference standings and the early season top 10 rankings. Take a look at it all coming up next on the MyBasin.com Game of...
On Top Tree Service have one of the highest buckets in town. No job too small, no tree too tall. Operating since 2017, this crew's ready for your land clearing, tree removal, tree trimming, stump grinding, and fire prevention. On Top Tree Services offers same-day estimates. I can't mention this enough. If a tree falls on your house or vehicle, they offer a 24/7 emergency tree or limb removal. Give them a call today at 541-882-8707. On Top Tree Services, fast, easy, and reliable. CCB 216014.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. how to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires, reminding you that changing seasons can mean changing road conditions. Introducing the brand new Backcountry AT2 for a quieter ride with improved performance in wet conditions. Because when it comes to keeping your family safe, the right tires help you feel prepared for anything. Seriously, anything. Now save up to $130 when you buy Quad-Track tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
And we welcome you back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week as the Henley Hornets lead at half 34-29. So far been pretty even scoring for Henley. As a matter of fact, 12 points credited to Annie Campos tonight. As we go down the leading scorers, Ryan Maddox has 9. Holly Parker's got 5. Maya Mock, Gracie Poe, and Anna Harper have each added 2 to Henley's total tonight. Take a look at what North Valley has done. They're led in scoring by the senior Carly Toohey with 11 points tonight. Sydney Moore has added 8, and Lady Wheeler 6. So Henley has kind of spread the love in terms of scoring. Of course, Campos has 12, but other than that, it's been kind of even across the board. For North Valley, though, it's been 3 players that have got all 25 of their points. So I'm sure Coach Michaela Witcherly in her second season would like to maybe spread it out like Henley did a little bit in that first half. I think, Sydney Moore and Carly Toohey worked a lot of the kind of mid-range game in that first half. Meantime, you look at Henley, and it was a lot of team passing, a lot of passing around the perimeter in that first half. You had Annie Campos, the sophomore, coming up, and she plays more of a forward position, but she's playing a little bit of point guard tonight at North Valley, kind of that point forward position that every team kind of looks for in the modern day of basketball. So like to see what Annie Campos brings in this second half. Again, she's got 12. Ryan Maddox has knocked down a couple of three-pointers. She's got 9. Henley's three-point shooting has been phenomenal. While you look at North Valley, and they have not made a three-point bucket so far tonight. All of their points coming from 2-point field goals or free throws this evening as they trail Henley 34-25. Going to take a quick break, and when we come back, going to take a look at the Skyline Conference standings and the top 10 in girls basketball in the state of Oregon and try to update you on this KU Phoenix game that's going on back in Cave Falls. All that is coming up next on the MyBasin Game of the Week.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires, reminding you that changing seasons can mean changing road conditions. Introducing the brand new Backcountry AT2 for a quieter ride with improved performance in wet conditions. Because when it comes to keeping your family safe, the right tires help you feel prepared for anything. Seriously, anything. Now save up to $130 when you buy Quad-Track tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
At Bowers Construction, our mission statement is to enrich the lives of our customers and of our team. So we're trying to be the best construction company that we can be by bringing value to other people's lives. So the work we provide is basically from foundation to roof in residential, and we work in commercial construction. Find our Bowers Construction Facebook page, or just give us a call. It's 541-205-1464. We are a licensed contractor at CCB 188923.
Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager of Clown Falls Honda and Clown Falls Subaru. I've lived here my whole life. Most of our employees have lived here their whole life too. Our sales, service, parts, and body shop teams are all staffed with experienced local folks. You know them and they know you. Our dealerships are comfortable and not corporate. Comfortable means we're focused on you. I'm Rob, and I'm glad to know you.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I love to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
And we welcome you back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week, coming to you live from North Valley High School in Merlin, Oregon, just a couple miles north of Grants Pass, the Climate City. My name is Josh Eldridge. With you is Nick Bradford as well, running the live stream this evening. 34-25 the score at halftime between the Henley Hornets and the North Valley Knights. And for these Hornets, who are up by 9, a win here would go a long way. They want to start out conference play with that 2-0 record. Of course, last week, picking up that win against Hidden Valley at home. A big win in that respect because Hidden Valley has won the last 4 conference championships. They are the reigning state champions, and Henley ended up beating them last week 42-36. And that was a big win there. Would love to continue that trend this week against North Valley. Looking ahead, they've got a Tuesday game against Redmond, but then it's right back into league play with games against Mazama, Klamath Union, Phoenix, Hidden Valley, North Valley again. So they, of course, are looking to grab that extra league win. And as we take a look around the conference, one other game happening tonight as Klamath Union is taking on Phoenix at halftime. Right now, Klamath Union leading the Phoenix Pirates 22-15. Appreciate Brian Gailey for sending out that text to us. That's the only other conference game happening this evening. And the one other game we are looking at, of course, is the Oregon Tech women taking on Eastern Oregon tonight. If you'd like to catch some play-by-play of that one, of course, you could tune your radio to 104.3 and 960 Sports. But right now, the Eastern Oregon women leading Oregon Tech with 7:29 to go in the fourth quarter, 53-49. They just got things started, though, in that fourth, so hoping that those Owls can pull things out. Of course, the men play right after the conclusion of the women's game, and you can hear that on 92.5 KLAD, the home of your Oregon Tech Hustlin' Owls. That will start at about 7 o'clock, so here in about 15 minutes, you'll be able to catch the pregame and coaches show with Mike, Bobby, and Justin Parnell for Oregon Tech. If you stay with us in this one, though, we appreciate you hanging out. Third quarter coming up next as the Henley Hornets lead the North Valley Knights at halftime 34-25. When we come back, it is time for third quarter action, and we'll be joined by Henley football head coach and junior varsity girls basketball coach Alex Stork joining us on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week. Henley's up at half, 34-20.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires, reminding you that changing seasons can mean changing road conditions. Introducing the brand new Backcountry AT2 for a quieter ride with improved performance in wet conditions. Because when it comes to keeping your family safe, the right tires help you feel prepared for anything. Seriously, anything. Now save up to $130 when you buy Quad-Track tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
At Bowers Construction, our mission statement is to enrich the lives of our customers and of our team. So we're trying to be the best construction company that we can be by bringing value to other people's lives. So the work we provide is basically from foundation to roof in residential, and we work in commercial construction. Find our Bowers Construction Facebook page or just give us a call. It's 541-205-1464. We are a licensed contractor. It's CCB 188923.
Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager of Clown Falls Honda and Clown Falls Subaru. I've lived here my whole life. Most of our employees have lived here their whole life too. Our sales, service, parts, and body shop teams are all staffed with experienced local folks. You know them and they know you. Our dealerships are comfortable and not corporate. Comfortable means we're focused on you. I'm Rob, and I'm glad to know you.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family.
Welcome back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week. The Henley Hornets lead at half, 34-25. Getting ready with the third quarter of action is Tui. Scoops up the ball and steals to open up the third quarter. Now the score 34-27. I'm joined with Henley football coach and junior varsity girls basketball coach Alex Stork. Coach, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
It's been a while since we've gotten to catch up, probably since before the new year.
Yeah, I think it has. I don't think I've seen you since maybe the Sutherland game. Were you at Sutherland game?
I don't think I went to the Sutherland game. It was the Bonanza game. I was at that one.
That's right. That was a close one.
Yeah, it was.
So you've seen some good boys games over the last few weeks.
You know, they played
Marshfield game.
Yeah, the Marshfield game, and then they played Junction City the following night. So that was an interesting game. And then, of course, the Hidden Valley game last week, where both the boys and the girls won, but the boys really did put on a show in that one.
Yeah, I saw a few of the boys this week at school, and they talked so much about Hidden Valley and how much they struggled in that game. And from my perspective, I just felt like our boys played really excellent that night. You know, they were shooting the lights out, sharing the basketball as good as I'd seen. So I was really impressed with the boys' performance more than I was the lack of performance by Hidden Valley.
Right. I mean, it's tough to overcome a cold shooting night like that, but you're right. I mean, the defense was played good. And then they kept the gas pedal on the whole game, too. I mean, they just never really had any fight. But, I mean, you could say the same thing for the girls last week, too, who came back and, 10 points down at the fourth quarter and came back and won.
17-1 run to end the game.
Yeah, crazy.
Incredible. Yeah, I was really proud of their heart and their fight and staying in it, because I think it would have been really easy to get discouraged. I think we were down, I should say, 12 points going into the fourth quarter.
Campos brings it up the floor, dribbles into about a 19-foot shot, and that one rolls around the rim and falls. And Annie Campos tonight with 14 points. Coach, she's a big part of this offense, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, she's been outstanding. I was mostly impressed in the Hidden Valley game at her leadership. She only had 6 points, and she usually averages 15 plus. And she wasn't discouraged by that. She shared the basketball tremendously, as she always does. And Ryan Maddox, one of our seniors, who'd only been averaging 7 to 8 points a game, ended up with 24 that game. And Annie's ball distribution was a huge part of that. And there was a point in the game with only a couple of minutes left where Annie got all the girls together in a huddle after a timeout and said a few things. You could kind of see some of the things she was mouthing. And I was just impressed as a sophomore on a team that has 5 senior players that she's taken that leadership role and grown more comfortable as the season's gone on.
Henley on offense now in a 39-27 ball game. Campos tries to dish it down low to Sharp, outside to Maddox, and now back to Campos. Campos goes outside to Maddox, puts it on the deck, dishes it back out to Northcutt, and some perimeter passing coming out from the Hornets. Mid-range jump shot taken by Parker, no good. Campos with the board, puts it back, up and in, and there she is again, Coach, just ferocious on the boards.
That was a great possession. I think that's one of the best possessions tonight, where we've moved the basketball a couple times all the way around. And sometimes it's hard to notice from the stands, but when you move the defense side to side like that, swinging the ball, what happens is you get a lot more offensive rebounds because gaps are created for moving the ball side to side. So I think that possession resulted in an offensive rebound and a putback layup, but the reason for that was they did such a good job of passing the ball around the perimeter.
So foul called down low. I believe they got Lainey Wheeler with that one, and she will check out of the game. In comes Shaylin Godfrey, the younger Godfrey. She's a freshman. Inbound pass goes to Maddox right away. 3-point shot, back iron, no good. Parker gets the board, back out to Maddox, now to Campos. She catches and shoots a 3. Again, no good. This time North Valley with the rebound. Tui in transition against Maddox, goes up with the shot and banks it in.
She is a smooth athlete. I enjoy watching her play. She gallops down the floor. It's impressive to watch.
When you have a player who's so ball dominant like she is, I mean, she's always the one bringing the ball up the court. She's got, by my count, 15 points tonight of North Valley's 31. So how do you deal with a player who's so ball dominant like that but just continues to get the job done?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to keep her out of the score sheet completely. So the game plan going in was to limit her as much as we were able to. And what we wanted to do was tire her out by making her bring the ball up and down the court with that full court man pressure that we've been implementing tonight. And I think that's had some effect, but she's such a tremendous athlete that she's gotten so many steals and run out baskets. It's hard to take her off the score sheet, but we try to limit her as much as possible. But she's always going to get her points because of the tremendous athlete that she is.
43-31 the score in the third quarter with 4:45 left to go in this third quarter. Henley, of course, with the lead. Joining me on the broadcast, Henley junior varsity girls basketball coach and head football coach Alex Stork. Coach, I find it interesting because football is such a different game than basketball, not only obviously in where it's played inside, but the pace is so different. Football, you have a big play, there's a pause, play, but in basketball, you're in each other's face all the time. It's a lot faster of a pace of a game. What's the coaching strategy differences between these two kind of very differently paced sports?
I think it's a great point. I think what I've learned in my short time coaching girls basketball so far this season is that you got to try to empower your leaders as much as possible. And I don't know if that's a huge difference from football, but the girls on the floor or the boys on the floor in basketball really take on the role of an extension of the coach out there because there is so much back and forth without any coach interactions. In football, most of the time the call comes from the sideline, the players go out and try to execute the call, but then the next play you get to have influence on that call. So whereas in basketball, there's a lot of possessions, multiple possessions that go by where the coach doesn't have any influence in calling out what they want to run. So empowering the girls to make calls and to help each other with their reads has been a big part of our preseason, and so we're hoping that translates into league play.
Score 43-34. Henley's got the ball as Martino has that one stripped away by Tui. She tries to get it inside to Hawkins, who goes up with the shot. North Valley on a bit of a run here, 43-36 now the score with 4:15 to go in the third.
It looks like they started implementing some of that full court pressure, using some of their athleticism to combat some of our half court possessions that we've had.
Nice shot coming out from Harper. And a whistle, trying to figure out if this comes before or after the shot. So the foul is going to be against Martino, and the bucket will not count. So the score remains 43-36. Tui, the inbound pass, has the bucket to herself and lays it up and in.
I think there was a little bit of confusion there from our end about who had the basketball because it was on the shot, but it was a loose ball foul underneath on the rebound. So I think that run-out basket had a lot to do with some confusion there. But Tui has really had a strong quarter.
$11 points in the quarter for Tui. We're going to step aside, take a break as they do down there on the floor. 3:40 to go in the third. 45-40. Henley still in the lead.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon, soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Narrating, so.
Sure.
Welcome back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week. We're in the third quarter, 45-40, joined by Henley Junior Varsity girls basketball coach and football coach Alex Stork. And we've kind of seen Carly Tui for North Valley go on a bit of a run here. And I know you weren't down in the coach's huddle, but what kind of things do you talk about when a player goes on a run like that?
I think a lot of times it's just to gain some perspective in those timeouts. It's to regroup first and foremost. And I think Randy and our staff have done a really good job of using those timeouts as affirmation time for our girls, just to say, hey, it's going to be okay. Let's just take a rest. Let's get a drink of water if you need it. Let's regroup and get back to doing what we do well.
Campos driving the left side, gets fouled on her way to the bucket, and Henley keeps possession of the ball. Coach, you mentioned that North Valley's kind of broken out this full press. In the third quarter, you don't see a lot of teams do it in the third quarter. It's more of an end-of-the-game thing, but I'm sure it's still something that is worked on a lot in practice, trying to defeat the press.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, and it's something that we do ourselves defensively all game long for the most part. So we haven't seen a ton of teams use it against us, but I think North Valley got a little bit stagnant in that second quarter, so it's been a really good adjustment coming out of halftime for them to use some of their athleticism and use some of their length to combat some of our half-court possessions that we've had success with tonight.
Nice mid-range jump shot coming out from Holly Parker. She's got 7 this evening.
Annie's done a really nice job tonight of attacking the middle of the zone with dribble penetration, and most of the time the shooters have been ready to step into shots and make some shots. And I know there's been some cases where we've had some turnovers, but I feel like she's done a good job attacking the middle of the zone tonight. And they've really tried to get a couple bodies on her, and it's left some wings open for some shots.
And you talk about Campos, she's fairly tall as well, and a sophomore. She kind of, on the offensive end, when she's not handling the ball, almost plays like a kind of power forward position, it seems. So you kind of have that dream player of the point forward. In a sense, with just a sophomore, it's got to be a blessing to have someone like that, especially when you've had players out like Beth Hamilton.
Yeah, no, she's really stepped up, and like you said, she's been asked to play a variety of roles this year due to some injuries and some other circumstance. And I've just been so impressed with her court IQ and her strength. I don't think she gets enough credit for how strong she is, and her rebounding, her passing is so excellent because of that strength.
Ball ends up trickling out of bounds. It'll be North Valley taking possession. 47-40 the score. Henley leads with 2:52 to go in the third quarter. Inbound pass goes into Tui. Races up the floor, dishes it over to Wheeler. Back over to Moore, who goes up with the shot and will be sent to the line. And Sydney Moore is another one of those girls who's been pretty ball dominant tonight. She's got 10 points, still a ways behind Tui, but they've been kind of running this two-man game all night in the post where Tui drives in, then it either bounces it to Moore or finds her somewhere in the mid-range. It's pretty interesting how fast they can pull that play off in transition.
Yeah, she's one player I've been really impressed by tonight as well. We got to see them a little bit up at the crossover when we were over in Florence. I got to see them play against Phoenix, and 22 was a girl that I knew we were going to have to mark, but tonight I feel like 2 has really stepped up and impressed our whole staff with how active she's been on both sides.
Moore sunk the first free throw, and the second is also good. Credit her with 12 points this evening. Campos getting it ahead to Sharp, has the bucket to herself and lays it up and in. Nice transition bucket for the Hornets, puts them back up by 7, 49-42 with 2.5 to go in the third. Tui slices through the lane, high off the glass, and knocks it down. And a timeout on the floor. Coach Randy Denson calling time with a 49-44 ball game. The Henley Hornets are in the lead. We're going to take a break on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires, reminding you that changing seasons can mean changing road conditions. Introducing the brand new Backcountry AT2 for a quieter ride with improved performance in wet conditions. Because when it comes to keeping your family safe, the right tires help you feel prepared for anything. Seriously, anything. Now save up to $130 when you buy Quatrac tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
And welcome you back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week. The Henley Hornets up 49-44 with 2:19 to go in the third. My name is Josh Eldridge. Joined with me in the broadcast for this third quarter is Henley head football coach and junior varsity girls basketball coach Alex Stork. And Coach, you and I were just talking about how high scoring of a game this has been so far. And Poe, this is the mid-range. Sharp tries to go back up with it in a foul, but you know, North Valley has exploded for a lot of points in this quarter, and Henley is keeping pace. They trimmed the lead a little bit, but still both teams filling it up.
Yeah, it's been an electric quarter, that's for sure. Both teams have been hot. Both teams have been playing a lot more confident offensively. I think the full court pressure on both sides has lended itself to a much more up and down game, and both teams have benefited from that this quarter.
Seems like you pick up the pace a lot more when that press comes out, because you're so worried about being bogged down in the backcourt that you've got to race up into the front court a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely does. I relate it to a 2-minute drill in football. It seems like when that sense of urgency comes at the end of the game or at the end of the half, there's something in the players' drive that changes. There's something in their focus that changes, and I think we've seen that in this third quarter.
Pass goes outside to Moore, beyond the arc. She's going to kick it to Tui, back inside to Moore at the left elbow, puts on the deck, goes up with the shot.
There she is again. What a quarter.
for more this quarter, 6 points, and a steal and a bucket on the other end for North Valley.
Yeah, Annie's been nursing an ankle injury that she suffered last week against Hidden Valley, so she was out a couple days this week of practice. Seems like it hasn't affected her very much this week, but sometimes with those ankle injuries, what happens is you get more worn out than you typically would in a game because adrenaline takes over, but your body's reaction is saying, hey, remember last week, that happened. Don't think it did.
Inbound pass goes to Martino. North Valley still working on that full press as Poe brings it up into the front court. Over to Campos. Campos goes right with it, tries to get it inside to Harper. And a turnover for Henley as the Knights a chance to take the lead with 1:25 to go in the third.
I think we're just pressing a little bit right now, if I had to say. Not literally pressing strategy-wise, but just forcing a little bit of shots, forcing passes that we don't usually do that. So I credit North Valley for that adjustment coming out of halftime because they've definitely evened this game by using some of their athleticism and making this more of an up-and-down game.
Campos with a mid-range jump shot, just rims out. Possession goes to the Knights. They're down by 1, under a minute now to go in the quarter. Checking into the game is Northcutt. Steps in for Sharp.
Sharp's been playing very aggressively tonight, but she's had a couple loose ball fouls that have costed her, and so I think that's her 4th foul.
Catch and shoot on the other end for North Valley is no good. Up with the shot went Wheeler. She's got 6 tonight. Unable to make that bucket drop. Campos over to Poe. Inside to Northcutt. And that one just stolen away by Moore. Passed up to Wheeler. Martino guarding in transition, the hoop and the harm. That time for Lainey Wheeler as the Knights take the lead, 50-49. They've got a chance to make it a 2-point game with 32 seconds to go in the third.
That was a great lead pass on that fast break. Threw it ahead of her. She's really composed, was able to gather herself, put the ball up and in on a physical foul too.
Free throw from Wheeler is no good. Henley with the board. Is this a situation where you look to take the last shot of the quarter?
I think so. Considering the fact that they've had such an electric quarter offensively, I think it's one of those cases where you just want to get to the 4th quarter, make your adjustments, and just have a break in play where you can regroup and settle. And I know we have a turnover there, but
shot goes up to Tui. She can't quite knock it down. 5 seconds and counting. Campos racing up the floor. She stops from the half-court line.
Ooh.
Oh,
look
so
good
close.
From our angle.
Yep, just a little bit off to the left. Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking time with us in the third quarter. I'll let you get back down to your team. Down by 1. Hopefully you can get that lead back.
Thanks, Josh.
All right, absolutely. The score 50-49. Heading to the the fourth quarter on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place and then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
And we welcome you back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week. Headed to the fourth quarter of action from North Valley High School tonight. The Knights lead 50-49. They came back with a huge third quarter led by Carly Tui. She had 13 points in the quarter alone. Add that to 6 points from Sydney Moore. And after being down by 9, find themselves up by 1. Inbound pass goes to Campos. Henley looks to regain the lead here in the fourth quarter. Pass over to Harper, the freshman, can't quite get the bucket, and North Valley has possession. Racing up the floor was Schrock. Schrock kicks it to Moore, now to Toohey, far side. The 5 on the floor for the Henley Hornets. It's going to be, I believe Mock is out there, along with Campos and Northcutt and Harper. And also Northcutt out there for the Hornets. Toohey in transition, off the glass it falls. 52-49 in the student section is starting to make a bit of noise for North Valley. Not too many students out here, but a handful. I know some alumni are out here, more so for Henley. And a foul called against Campos. So the Hornets down by 3. Campos kicking it over to Parker, misses the shot, tries to go back up with it, and finally knocking it down was Harper. As Harper knocks down her second shot of the game, she's got 4 points tonight. Toohey kicks it over to Schrock. Schrock trying to get it inside to Moore. Northcutt knocks it away. Moore gathers, kicks it to Toohey. Toohey trying to get it inside, but the pass knocked away by Harper. Ball goes out of bounds, and the refs are going to talk about that. I'm thinking Harper touched it last, and the officials getting it right. I think in this case it'll be North Valley basketball. Take a quick look now at the pause in the action as the Oregon Tech women in overtime against Eastern Oregon, up 71-69 with 4.5 to go in the first overtime period. Meantime, in this one, it was a shot from Wheeler. Mid-range shot missed. Score will remain a 1-point game, 52-51, North Valley. Campos kicking it over, near side to Mock. Mock back to Campos. Toohey got a hand on it, but Campos going to get inside to Northcutt, goes up with the shot and gets fouled. At the line is Northcutt. Her first free throw is no good. Northcutt tonight, just 2 points. This is her first trip to the line. Misses the first and will get a chance at a second to tie the game with 5:57 to go in the fourth. The shot is up and no good. Sydney Moore gets the rebound and kicks it ahead to Toohey. Toohey comes into the free throw line, kicks it outside to Wheeler. Mid-range shot no good. Parker grabs the board, and Campos brings it up the floor for the Hornets. Trying to get it inside to Harper, but Mock lets that one get away from her, the sophomore with 2 points tonight. Coach Denson just trying to have his girls slow things down out there. They got into a bit of trouble in the third quarter. Coach Alex Stork, an assistant on the varsity team, the head coach of the JV girls, and the head football coach joined us in that third quarter and said the exact same thing. He thought the girls were pressing just a little bit too much, maybe forcing the issue instead of just playing calm, cool, and collected. But it's tougher to do that the later you get into a ball game. With 5.5 to go in the fourth, Hornets down by 1, 52-51. Inbound pass is going to go into Northcutt, and she will get sent back to the line. Northcutt missed her 2 free throws in her last trip to the line and trying to convert here. Charge the foul to Angela Hawkins, the senior. And Northcutt toes the line with 5:35 to go in the fourth. Free throw rattles home. Tie ball game. And Maddox checks in. Maddox tonight with 9 points, had 24 in the win against Hidden Valley. And the second free throw from Northcutt is no good. Rebound, North Valley. Wheeler bringing it up the floor. Wheeler over to Faggart, now back to Hawkins. Hawkins kicks it over to Wheeler, drives that left side, the right side, kicks it back over to Hawkins, now to Faggart. Faggart about 12 feet out. This is an inside to Moore, mid-range jump shot, no good from Wheeler, and Campos gets the board in the front court. Maddox puts it on the deck and gets blocked by Toohey. Great transition defense by Carly Toohey as North Valley now races up the floor, trying to get it inside to Moore, down low, inside the paint, and a foul going to be called likely against those Hornets. And what a block from Carly Toohey in transition, getting in front of Maddox, went strong to the hoop. And that's a big block as Sydney Moore goes to the line. 4 for 4 from the penalty stripe this evening. The first free throw is no good, as that was just a bonus shot, so the foul was a non-shooting foul. Faggart with the shot, front iron, no good, and it looked like Hawkins tried to come in for the rebound, crashed against Northcutt. And this will send someone to the line, as the Knights have 18 fouls. Henley now picking up their 8th, so this will send Hawkins to the line. And Hawkins the one forcing the issue there, picking up the foul, as she came crashing in from the perimeter to try to pick up that board, but in fact the foul is going to go against the Hornets. And the free throw is no good. Rebound snagged by Northcutt. And we're still in a tie ball game. 4:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Pass goes over to Maddox. For 3, no good. Campos with the board, puts it on the deck, goes back up and gets fouled. So Annie Campos headed to the line. She's made 2 free throws this evening and has got 16 points on the night. First free throw was no good, but she will get a second, considering this is a shooting foul. And also checking into the game for North Valley is Ashlyn Godfrey, the sophomore, back into the contest. She's scoreless. All of North Valley's points tonight scored by just 3 players. Sydney Moore, Lainey Wheeler, and of course Carly Toohey leading all scorers tonight, as the second free throw is good. And Campos gives Henley the lead. And she's got 17 tonight. Toohey tries to get inside to Faggart. Back over to Wheeler. Now back to Faggart. Tries to get it over to Toohey, but it's knocked away by Maddox. She slows things down for the Hornets. Over to Campos. Campos thinks about a 3 on that left side. Dishes it inside to Northcutt, who goes up with the shot, and it drains it. 55-52. Northcutt with the bucket. She's got 4 points tonight. Pass intended inside for Moore, stolen away by Campos. Campos drives inside, hard dribble to the basket, and she drains the layup. Annie Campos getting the Hornets right back into the game, scoring their last 3 points, giving them a 57-52 lead. It's 3:49 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll be back with the MyBasin.com Game of the Week.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
We're in the fourth quarter of a 57-52 ball game. The Henley Hornets leading the North Valley Knights on the road tonight, and North Valley starting with the ball coming out of the break with 3:45 to go in the final period. Wheeler on the far side takes a screen set by Moore, kicks it over to Godfrey. Godfrey back outside to Toohey. Tui from 10 feet out goes up with the shot. She gets fouled, no bucket, but she will head to the line. Excuse me. Game was tied at 52, but Annie Campos on a kind of 5-0 run by herself has put the Hornets in the lead by 5. She drained a couple field goals and a free throw, and Tui tries to answer back. She makes one there. Tui at the line still after that first drained free throw. Goes up with the second and makes it 26 points tonight for Carly Tui. She has got almost half of her squad's points this evening as Campos, beyond the three-point arc, kicks it over to Parker from about 19 and banks it in. 59-54. That shot from Parker, her 9th point of the evening. Faggart tied up by Campos. Possession Hornets. It's going to be Northcutt to inbound. And Campos is going to try to get there, and she does. Spins around 3 North Valley players. Tries to get it inside. Bounce pass over to Parker. Mid-range jump shot, no good. Campos with the board, hard off the glass and gets fouled. She's shooting 2. So Campos, again, has scored 5 of the last 7 Henley points. And trying to add more to it here. Campos, free throw, no good. Second free throw from Campos is good. That one drains it, and 60-54, a 6-point game for the Hornets. Tui over to Faggart. Tied up by Campos. Loses possession for a second. Regains it. Kicks it back outside to Wheeler on that left side. Over to Moore. Kicks it inside to Godfrey. Goes up with the shot and gets fouled. So both teams now in the double bonus, which means that no matter what the foul is, teams will get 2 free throws. So Godfrey headed to the line for 2. She's a sophomore, scoreless tonight. Again, all the points coming from 3 players. Tui leading all scorers, then Sydney Moore and Lainey Wheeler for the North Valley Knights. Checking into the game for Henley will be Madeline Sharp. She's playing with 4 fouls as she checks back into the game. She's been playing aggressive defense, and Coach Stork says that you like to see that defense, but when it leads to loose ball fouls, tend to get yourself in a little bit of trouble. The second free throw was good for Godfrey. She is only the fourth player in the game to score, as Tui also gets fouled and will go to the line for 2. And this is what you want to avoid if you're Henley, is sending Carly Tui to the line. And here's the thing, she's very good at drawing contact and drawing fouls. She will go on these runs. Again, 26 points in the game already for Tui. She is having herself quite the evening as she toes the line. Her team down by 5. First free throw's no good. Checking into the game for North Valley. Well, actually, I think Faggart and Godfrey just kind of switched places in terms of who's going to try to grab the rebound. So Tui doesn't really need him to grab the rebound. She sinks the second free throw, 27 points tonight for the senior. And they break out the press against Campos. Kicking it ahead to Maddox, who crosses the timeline. Maddox trying to drive inside, goes up with the right hand, no good. Rebound almost safe from going out of bounds by Maddox, but in fact it's going to be touched by Sharp, who had a foot out of bounds. North Valley takes possession. Tui walking it up the floor for North Valley. Kicking it over to Wheeler. Wheeler back over to Moore, and she knocks down a mid-range jump shot now. Just a 2-point game here at North Valley High School. 2:08 left to go in the fourth. Campos racing up the floor. Tries to kick it over to Sharp. She gets there, and Sydney Moore swats the shot away. Henley keeps possession. Coming down to the wire here in Merlin. Over to Maddox. For three. Front iron, no good. Sharp with the rebound. Puts it on the deck. Goes back. Gets the hoop and the harm. She's going to the line to shoot an extra free throw, trying to make it a 3-point play and a 5-point ball game. Sharp tonight, only 4 points and couldn't quite sink the free throw. Rebound snagged by Tui, and a frenzy for the basketball as the score remains 62-58. Schrock beyond the perimeter, kicks it to Tui. Tui goes right with it. Ball picked away by Parker, but it looked like Faggart able to get it. Now Moore inside in the double team, and she gets fouled. And Moore will head to the line for two. Tough call to make down low. It looked like all the Henley players had their arms up, but Moore doing a nice job of creating the contact and creating the opportunity to go to the line as Harper checks into the game. The freshman with 4 points tonight for Henley. As Sharp takes a seat on the bench, her fifth and final foul. First free throw from Moore, rims out, no good. Moore tonight, 16 points. Misses that one. It will remain a 4-point game. Campos going to bring it up the floor for Henley, a minute and a half to go. Campos has to be careful there about half court, gets it inside to Parker. Parker back to Campos. Crosses to go to her left, has some room to get to the bucket, getting it inside to Northcutt, trying to get in with the soft touch. Campos with the rebound, can't quite get it. Another rebound for Henley down low. This time the mid-range shot comes from Northcutt. Again, another offensive rebound, can't convert on any of them. Score remains 62-58. Sydney Moore, mid-range jump shot switch. Timeout called by Coach Randy Denson and the Henley Hornets. His team leads by 2, 62-60. A minute to go in the ball game. You've got the mybasin.com game up.
On Top Tree Services have one of the highest buckets in town. No job too small, no tree too tall. Operating since 2017, this crew's ready for your land clearing, tree removal, tree trimming, stump grinding, and fire prevention. On Top Tree Services offers same-day estimates. I can't mention this enough. If a tree falls on your house or vehicle, they offer a 24/7 emergency tree or limb removal. Give them a call today at 541-882-8707. On Top Tree Services, fast, easy, and reliable. CCB 216014.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter. A minute to go in the ball game. It's a 62-60 score. Henley leads North Valley. North Valley tonight led by Carly Tui with 26 points, but in the last couple of minutes, it's been Sydney Moore who scored 4 straight for the North Valley Knights, en route to an 18-point performance. And she's done very well, too. So far, only 4 Knights have scored, and even then, Ashlyn Godfrey, the sophomore, only has 1 point on a made free throw. Other than that, it's been Lainey Wheeler, Carly Tui, and Sydney Moore doing all the scoring. Meantime, 8 Hornets have scored in this game. Led by Amy Campos. She's got 17 tonight. And Henley will start with the basketball. Under a minute to go in the game. It's a 2-point game, 62-60. Maddox takes the inbound pass. She tries to bring it up. Maddox has got 4 Knights behind her, but she brings it up and slows it down. As North Valley having to press here, as Maddox puts it on the deck. Goes up with the right hand, no good. North Valley with the rebound. It's Moore giving it up to Tui as she races up on the floor. 10-foot jump shot, no good, but she does get fouled. Free throws and a chance to tie for the senior, Carly Tui. She can come into a game and take it over. She's done it since her freshman year when she started on varsity as a freshman. I remember that. It was 4 years ago this time, obviously, considering she's a senior now, but she also started with 2 of her sisters in the starting lineup as well, as she makes the first free throw and trims the lead to 1. 62-61. Tui at the line with a chance to tie. The free throw, no good. Henley with the rebound. Big possession for the Hornets. 35 seconds to go as Campos brings it up. Campos tries to go right with it. Ball knocked out of bounds. Possession stays with the Hornets. 28 seconds to go in the game. 1 point differential. Henley with the ball and the lead. Got a chance to take time and look for a shot that they like. Maddox with it now, right in front of the Hornets bench. And it looks like it'll remain Henley basketball. And it'll be a foul on North Valley. And Maddox heads to the line. Maddox, with 20 seconds to go in the game, has a chance to make it a 3-point game. So far tonight, Maddox has 9. She's yet to score in the second half. First free throw, no good. And that's surprising for Maddox. She came into this this half with 9 points. And I said at halftime, she scored 24 against Hidden Valley. I'd like to see something nice come from her in the second half, but she has been held scoreless. Misses the first free throw, and the second is good. That one, a sigh of relief for the Henley bench. It's now a 2-point bucket, won't win it. A timeout is called by Michaela Witcherly. We'll take a timeout too. 63-61, 16 seconds to go from Merlin.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
And welcome you back to the fourth quarter of Henley girls basketball tonight. 63-61. So I had the scorebook a little bit wrong there on the stream. Apologies for that. Score is 63-61 with 19 seconds to go in the game. And North Valley is going to start with possession. This is an opportunity for North Valley to take the final shot of the ball game. So the question is, do they want to go for the tie? Do they want to go for a win? North Valley has not yet made a 3-point bucket tonight. Tough to see them going for the win here as Tui takes the inbound pass. Tui going to the right side, over to Moore. Mid-range shot, good. Tie game, 12 seconds to go. And Annie Campos racing up the floor, 8 seconds now. Campos behind the back dribble, goes to the bucket, misses the shot, and Tui gets the board. She's going to the line to shoot 1-1 on the other side. Oh no 1-1. As a matter of fact, it was just a jump ball. So North Valley with the chance to win the game. With 2 seconds, they inbound under their own baseline. Tui has to go up the floor, and she steps. No, it is a foul on Maddox. A blocking foul, walking up the floor with 1 second to go. Tui has a chance to win the game, and Coach Denson is upset, and rightfully so. That is a tough call for an official to make with 2 seconds in the game. Wow. That's a tough call to make. Tui at the line. Makes the first free throw. Tui's second free throw is good. And the shot is blocked. 65-63 the final as the Hornets lose this one in a thriller at North Valley High School. North Valley evens up their Skyline Conference record at 1-1. Henley also now 1-1 in Skyline Conference play. We'll tell you what all that means coming up in the post-game show. 65-63 the final on mybasin.com.
On Top Tree Services have one of the highest buckets in town. No job too small, no tree too tall. Operating since 2017, this crew's ready for your land clearing, tree removal, tree trimming, stump grinding, and fire prevention. On Top Tree Services offers same-day estimates. I can't mention this enough. If a tree falls on your house or vehicle, they offer a 24/7 emergency tree or limb removal. Give them a call today at 541-882-8707. On Top Tree Services, fast, easy, and reliable. CCB 216014.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires, reminding you that changing seasons can mean changing road conditions. Introducing the brand new Backcountry AT2 for a quieter ride with improved performance in wet conditions. Because when it comes to keeping your family safe, the right tires help you feel prepared for anything. Seriously, anything. Now save up to $130 when you buy Quadtrac tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
And welcome you back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week, as the North Valley Knights coming back in the third quarter and eventually finishing the Hornets off in the fourth with a 65-63 victory. Carly Toohey led the way for the North Valley Knights tonight with 27 points. That is an incredible effort, 16 of which came in that second half, in which North Valley came back down by 10. Great opportunity there for Carly Toohey. Also for North Valley, 16 points for Sydney Moore tonight, 9 for Lainey Wheeler, and 1 for Ashlyn Godfrey. Look at what happened for the Henley Hornets tonight. They were led in scoring by Annie Campos, who scored 20. You also had Ryan Maddox notching 10. Credit Holly Parker with 9 points this evening. 4 for each of Madeline Sharp, Anna Harper, and Jewel Northcutt, and 2 points tonight for Maya Mock and Gracie Poe. Overall tonight, a really good, strong effort from Henley. Just ended up losing the handle a little bit in the third quarter, and eventually North Valley coming back and finishing off in the fourth quarter. And some key free throws coming down the stretch from Carly Toohey. I mentioned it right when North Valley got the double bonus. What you can't do if you're Henley is send Carly Toohey to the free throw line. And that is eventually what did the Henley Hornets in, is with 1 second left to go, a foul was called on the far side of the court. Foul in transition with 2.8 seconds left to go on the clock. Sometimes this is how the ball rolls. You get a call that is 50-50. Sometimes can go either way, especially late in the game. It just doesn't go your way, end up with a loss in the books. For Henley, though, it's not all bad. You're still 1-1 in conference play. I think still in the running for your conference championship. Even early this on, still 8 games to go. We'll talk about it coming up next. Don't want to get too ahead of myself on the post-game show. Going to take a break, look at the conference standings, and send you on your way coming up next on the MyBasin.com.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires, reminding you that changing seasons can mean changing road conditions. Introducing the brand new Backcountry AT2 for a quieter ride with improved performance in wet conditions. Because when it comes to keeping your family safe, the right tires help you feel prepared for anything. Seriously, anything. Now save up to $130 when you buy Quadtrac tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
At Bowers Construction, our mission statement is to enrich the lives of our customers and of our team. So we're trying to be the best construction company that we can be by bringing value to other people's lives. So the work we provide is basically from foundation to roof in residential, and we work in commercial construction. Find our Bowers Construction Facebook page or just give us a call. It's 541-205-1464. We are a licensed contractor at CCB 188923.
Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager of Clown Falls Honda and Clown Falls Subaru. I've lived here my whole life. Most of our employees have lived here their whole life too. Our sales, service, parts, and body shop teams are all staffed with experienced local folks. You know them and they know you. Our dealerships are comfortable and not corporate. Comfortable means we're focused on you. I'm Rob, and I'm glad to know you.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
And we welcome you back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week as the Henley Hornets dropping this one to North Valley 65-63 the final. Take a look at what this does to the Skyline Conference standings as the North Valley Knights notching their first win in league play. Take just a quick look at the standings now as Henley dropping down to 1-1. So Klamath Union actually winning a game earlier tonight. So they are atop the Skyline Conference. Klamath Union winning their game earlier tonight 49-40 over Phoenix. So Klamath Union in first place in the Skyline Conference, followed up with Mazama, who's 1-0. Henley and North Valley tied down there for that kind of 3-4 spot, both 1-1. And then you've got Hidden Valley and Phoenix, who is now 0-2 after dropping one to Klamath Union tonight. Curious to see what a night like this does to the top 10 rankings as we take just a brief look now at the top 10 in the state of Oregon in terms of 4A girls basketball. At the top, you've got the usual suspects like Philomath, Cascade, and Junction City, who've been there for the last handful of seasons. Corbett is ranked 4th. Marshfield comes in at number 5, and Gladstone is ranked 6th. Staten is number 7, and they've been in that top 10 for a few years now as well. Baker is 8, number 9 is Banks, and Marist is number 10. Coming into tonight's action, Henley was 14 and North Valley was 23. Now, curious to see what that does now as these two teams have, North Valley coming here and defending home court, beating Henley 65-63. And look, we could talk about that last play of the game in which there was a foul called against Tui. She goes to the line and makes the free throws that eventually decide the game. But it really comes down to tonight, Henley got outpaced on the defensive end by North Valley. Carly Tui stepped up in the biggest moments when it mattered. She comes away with 27 points. And yes, we can say that the game was won or lost by those free throws at the end of the game, but the fact of the matter is that Henley let this one slip away from them in the second half, and they are hung with the loss tonight, 65-63. Hoping that they can come back and grab a win on Tuesday. We won't be covering this game up at Redmond High School as a 6:30 tip-off on Tuesday. And then we are back to league action on Friday against Mazama, playing at Valhalla Court. That's the next time the Henley Hornets get a chance to redeem themselves in Skyline Conference play. Before you send you on your way, would like to give you a quick update on what Oregon Tech was up to tonight. Unfortunately, the women losing in overtime against Eastern Oregon, 79-75. Tough loss for Coach Scott Meredith and his program, but against Eastern Oregon, a very good squad. You got College of Idaho tomorrow, and that's what you have to focus on now if you're Oregon Tech. And just real quickly, trying to pull up a score for the men's game. We can get that for you before we leave you. As a matter of fact, doesn't look like there is a score yet for the Oregon Tech Eastern Oregon game. If you'd like to catch some of that, you can tune on over to on your radio 92.5 KLAD. You can join Mike Garrard and Bobby Thompson on the call live from LeGrand, Oregon. And that's what you'd like to do because we are out of here this evening. Appreciate you joining us in the MyBasin.com Game of the Week. Of course, you can go back and watch an archived replay of this event and many others by visiting MyBasin.com. It's your home for everything in the Basin, from news to sports and everything in between. Find us online at MyBasin.com. Once again, final score tonight, 65-63. We'd like to thank North Valley Athletic Director Tim Sam for setting us up tonight, and of course, Henley Athletic Director Jesse Hamilton letting us cover his team all season long. North Valley taking this one from the Hornets, 65-63 the final. For Nick Bradford, I'm Josh Eldridge. Good night from Merlin, Oregon.